Hi friends, welcome back. I'm George Pierce and I thank you for watching. In this video I'm going to share with you two words that you want to avoid because they're going to kill your click-through rate. I'm also going to share with you two more words that are guaranteed to get you more clicks. And stick with me for my bonus because I'm going to be sharing even more tips to help you to get more clicks. And what I'm talking about is your title or your headline. And there's two words that if you use them in your title, you're going to get a big jump. And I'm going to show you the numbers and so on in just a little bit. It's going to really help your click-through rate. The two words that I'm talking about are actually negatives. And if you're like me, you may want to avoid negative, but stay with me because you're going to see how these negative words, these two simple negative words, can impact your channel in a very positive way. Now, as I'm sure you know, most of the news that we get nowadays is about 90 to 95% bad news. And the fact is that bad news sells. The reason for this is what's called a negative bias. I want to share a little bit of information with you about this negative bias and how it's actually going to help you, how it's actually backed by science. In a study that was published by PNAS, that stands for Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, this is in the USA, 1,156 people across 6 countries were tested for negative bias. And in this study, it showed that people react more strongly to both physically and mentally to negative news. I apologize for including that boring detail, but I believe it's important that you know and understand that this is actually backed by science. So we have science on our side. Just how effective are these two negative keywords in helping us to get more clicks? And what are these words? We're going to get to that in just a moment. But before we do, allow me to ask you a favor. If you like this video so far, and I hope you do, give it a big thumbs up. Do that right now. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, for goodness sake, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of these videos. The impact that these two words are going to have on your click-through rate is plus 30%. That's actually proven. I'm going to share with you my results in just a moment as well. And the two words are, the first word is never, N-E-V-E-R, and the second word is worst, W-O-R-S-T. Now, I used never on a video recently as a test, and I ended up adding it on another video. Now, I didn't do an exact comparison. I didn't do an exact split test, and what that is simply to run a title with the word never and run a title with the word without the word never, run the title with the word worst, and run the title without the word worst, or as close to that as you can get. But allow me to show you what I did do and the results that I did get. The video I used it on was never make bad landing pages again. At this time, that video has 61 views and 2 subs. Average views are about 30 to 48, and that nets out to 39. That is 22 views more than it would normally get. What that means is that I've got a 56.4% increase in views. Now, I also used it on a video called Never Self-Publish Without This. That particular video got 28 views. Let me show you what else I did. I also published a video about self-publishing on Kindle. I did not use never on that video. And the self-publish got 19 views versus 28 views. So video with the word never got 9 more views, which is a 47.4% more views. So after seeing these results, I've actually just added a word. I've just added the word worst in one of my titles. Next, I want to share with you the two words, of course, that are going to kill your views. So you don't want to use these. You want to avoid these two words. And they're going to cut your visitors, your click-through rate, by about 29%. And the words are the word best, B-E-S-T, which I'm certainly guilty of using, and the word always. The word best and the word always are shooting your titles and your headlines in the foot, so don't use them. So let me get into my bonus tip here, and it's based on the same thing, and what it simply is that what's happening, or what has happened, is that positive words have been overused, overworked, they've been abused. Same thing with questions. It used to be a question, man, a question was just automatic. Not so much anymore. So what that means is these keywords, these positive keywords, have lost a lot of their power. In fact, they've not only lost a lot of their power, in most cases because of overuse, because of abuse, they're actually being ignored. On the other hand, negatives are in, and according to studies, according to research, people put more faith in negative news, for example. If something is negative, it is more likely, in their mind, it is more likely, they perceive it as being more likely to be authentic, they perceive it as being more likely to be genuine. And according to Letterly, negatives are 49% more likely to be read. So if you have a negative title, it's actually more likely to be read than a positive title by 49%. So I want to share with you a couple of more negative words that you might want to put in your arsenal that will help you get a better click-through rate. Don't wear these out, but these are words that can be of help. The word stop. Stop. Maybe a big stop sign. Stop doing this. Another word is avoid. You will have noticed in the title, avoid. Don't, D-O-N'-T, probably do not, and fail. The word fail. So stop, avoid, don't, and fail. And I want to talk a little bit more about headlines, because just the information I've given you so far is not quite enough. Allow me to share a little more information with you that is going to help you with your headlines. And your headline has two jobs, or your title has two jobs. The first job is that it's got to grab that attention. That's where these negative words can really help. It's going to help to grab the attention. The other thing is that it has to be enticing enough, motivating enough to be able to draw that person to your video. So it needs to grab attention and it needs to get clicked. Think of your title as a magnet. And the better that you can craft your title, the better that magnet's going to be. It's going to be a stronger magnet. It's going to have a better chance of attracting, of drawing that attention, and a better chance of drawing that viewer into your video. Allow me to share a few suggestions that will be of help, and that is to use curiosity, the promise of a reward, the promise of a benefit, the promise of a solution, or the promise of satisfaction. These are things that are proven to work. And I would suggest that you couple this with probably one of the best little headline formulas, title formulas on the books, and that's called the 4 U's, or the 4U formula, or the 4 elements that you want to have in your title. And the first is useful. How's your video or your video content or your product going to help your viewer? You'll also want to include urgency. It needs to motivate them to make that click through and to make it now. You want your title to be unique. The uniqueness also relates to what is called the shock factor, the surprise factor. So you want your title to be perhaps a little shocking, a little surprising. The 4th U is ultra specific, and that simply means that you want your headline to match your content, which is a hard and fast rule. Make your title match your content. The benefit is that when your prospective viewer comes to your video, they're getting exactly what they expected. And what does that mean to you? It means that they're going to watch your video. They may stay and watch it to the very end. So now technically you want to use all 4 elements, and that's a lot easier said than done. So I do want to share with you that there is a priority. In other words, if you can't use all 4, well, which ones should you use? And the priority is the order that I gave them to you. Actually, it's useful. Useful is the first and most important thing that you want to include. Urgency is the next most important. So those two are two that I would try to work into most every title. Uniqueness as well, if you can, that shock factor. And ultra specific is the last on the priority, but still an important factor that you want to work in. I also want to share with you that there is a danger to using negatives, and but on the other hand, I believe as long as you're aware of it, I'm sure you'll be fine. You simply want to be careful to not connect your reader, your viewer, or your prospective viewer with that negative. Help make that clear. Don't mark it like a spammer. So a revision, if we take don't mark it like a spammer, let's say we revise that, don't do this. Why good marketers accidentally spam and how to fix it fast. One more tip: when you're done with your title, read the title as if you were your prospect. Would your prospect be attracted by that title? Would that grab their attention, and would they want to click through to your video? Now, don't do this. Why good marketers accidentally spam and how to fix it fast brings me to my next tip, and that is my don't do tip. I used this before, and I say this with a smile because it still amazes me every time I use it. It gets clicked. It gets a lot of clicks. And it's simply like, do not click here, do not click this link, and it gets clicked. So if you use it on your web page, and you can simply use an embed, and you can also do this on YouTube. Simply use a link shortener, and when you shorten the link on the alias, pick something like do not click. And the other thing is to keep it relevant. If they go to something that's absolutely got nothing to do with whatever your video is about, or that cuts your chances of making a sale and of them returning. By opening it in a new window, you've got a chance of them returning, and by making it relative, you have a much better chance of making a sale. If you got value from this video, and I certainly hope you have, give it a big thumbs up if you haven't done that already. I would appreciate that. It's good for the channel. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. I do want to know what you think of my videos, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Allow me to wish you much success.